Very nice to dwell on the meaning of this 8 stanza. So we were reading the chapter 30, Krishna's hiding from the gopis. So they are looking everywhere. I will just read the few lines to bring up to the speed. Will you kindly, this is the gopis speaking, will you kindly therefore inform us which way Krishna has gone? Krishna is the well-wisher of Vrindavan, and he is as kind to you as to us. Therefore, after leaving us, he must have been present in your company. O fortunate trace, we are thinking of Krishna, the younger brother of Balram. While passing through here, with one hand resting on the shoulder of the goddess of fortune, and the other hand whirling a lotus flower. He must have been very pleased to accept your obeisances, and he must have glanced at you with great pleasure. Krishna is so kind to everyone. So some of the gopis then begin to address their other gopi friends as follow. Dear friends, why don't you question these creepers who are so jubilantly embracing the big tree as if the trees were their husbands? It appeared that the flowers of the creeper must have been touched by the nails of Krishna. Otherwise, how could they feel so jubilant? Now we go and visit the Vrindavan Dham. We see the dry trees and like this. But if we see the Vrindavan through the eyes of scripture, it's so beautiful, gorgeous. After searching for Krishna here and there, when the gopis become fatigued, they begin to talk like a mad woman. They could only satisfy themselves by imitating the different pastime of Krishna. One of them initiated the demon Putana, and one of them imitated Krishna and sucked her breast. One gopi imitated a hand-driven cart, and another gopi lay down beneath the cart and began to throw up her legs, touching the wheels of the cart as Krishna did to kill the demon Sakatasur. So they imitated child Krishna lying down on the ground, and one gopi became the demon Trunavart and carried the small child Krishna by force into the sky. And one of the gopis began to imitate Krishna while he was attempting to walk, wringing his ankle balls. Two gopis imitated Krishna and Balram, and many others imitated their cowherd boyfriends. One gopi assumed the form of Bakasur, and another forced her to fall down, as the demon Bakasur did when he was killed. Similarly, another gopi defeated Vatsasur, just as Krishna used to call his cow by the different names. So the gopis imitated him, calling the cow by their respective names. One of the gopis began to play on a flute, and another praised her the way Krishna's boyfriends praised him while he played on his flute. One of the gopis took another gopi on her shoulder, just as Krishna used to take his boyfriends. Absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, the gopi who was carrying her friend began to boast that she was Krishna herself. All of you just see my movement. One of the gopi raised her hand with her covering garments and said, quote, now don't be afraid of torrents of rain and severe hurricanes. I'll save you, unquote. In this way, she imitated the lifting of Govardhan hill. One gopi forcibly put her feet on the head of another gopi and said, quote, "You rascal Kalia, I shall punish you severely. You must leave this place. I have descended on this earth to punish all kind of miscreants." Unquote. Another gopi told her friends, quote, "Just see, the flames of the forest fire are coming to devour us. Please close your eyes, and I shall immediately save you from this imminent danger." So this is the gopis are teaching us by this way how to remember Krishna and absorbs in the remembrance of Krishna and his pastimes. Gopi never feel separation from Krishna like this. They always associate in person or in separation. In this way, all the gopis were madly feeling the absence of Krishna. They inquired for him from the trees and plants. In some places, they found the imprints of the mark on the sole of his lotus feet, namely the flag, lotus flower, trident, and thunderbolt, etc. After seeing these footprints, they exclaimed, quote, "Oh, here is the impression of the mark on the soul of Krishna. All the marks, such as the flag, the lotus flower, the trident, and the thunderbolt, are distinctly visible here." This is wonderful. We can see why they repeat. They can say the four marks on the soul, but they repeat so at least we can remember flag, lotus flower, trident, and thunderbolt. Prabhupada is so wonderful. They began to follow the footprints, and shortly they saw another set of footprints beside them, and immediately they become very sorry. Quote, "Dear friend, just see, whose are these other footprints? They are beside the footprints of the son of Maharaj Anand. It is certainly Krishna passing through, resting his hand on some other gopi, exactly as an elephant goes side by side with his beloved mate. We must therefore understand that this particular gopi show Krishna with greater affectionate love than ourselves. And because of this, although he has left us, he could not leave her company. He has taken her along with him. Dear friends, just imagine how the dust of this place is transcendently glorious. The dust of the lotus feet of Krishna is worshipped even by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. But at the same time, we are very sorry that this particular gopi has gone along with Krishna, for she is sharing the nectar of Krishna's kisses and leaving us aside to lament. Oh friends, just say, at this particular spot, we do not see the footprints of that gopi. It appeared that because there were some pinpricks from the dry grass, Krishna took Radharani on his shoulder. Oh, she is so dear to him. Krishna must have picked some flower in this spot to satisfy Radharani. Because here, where he stood erect to get the flowers from the high branches of the tree, we find only half the impression of his feet. How closely they are watching everything. Huh? Dear friends, just see how Krishna must have sat down here with Radharani and tried to set flower in her hair. You can be certain that both of them sat together here. Krishna is self-sufficient. He has nothing to enjoy from any other source. Yet, just to satisfy his devotee, he has treated Radharani exactly as a lusty boy treats his girlfriend. Krishna is so kind that he always tolerates the disturbance created by his girlfriends. Haribo. In this way, all the gopis began to point out the faults of the particular gopi who had been taken alone by Krishna. They began to say that the chief gopi, Radharani, who was taken alone by Krishna, must be very proud of her position, thinking herself the greatest of the gopis. Quote, yet, how could Krishna take her away alone, leaving all of us aside, unless she be extraordinarily qualified and beautiful? She must have taken Krishna in the deep forest and told him, quote, my dear Krishna, I am now very tired. I cannot go any further. Please carry me wherever you like. Unquote. When Krishna was spoken to in this way, he might have told Radharani. So they are thinking, making this scene by themselves. All right, better get on my shoulder. Unquote. But immediately Krishna must have disappeared. And now Radharani must be lamenting for him. My dear lover, my dearest, you are so fine and so powerful. Where have you gone? I'm nothing but your most obedient maidservant. I'm very much aggrieved. Please come and be with me again. Krishna, however, is not coming to her. He must be watching her from a distant place and enjoying her sorrow. Unquote. So all the gopis then went further and further into the forest, searching out for Krishna. But when they learned that actually Radharani was left alone by Krishna, they became very sorry. This is the test of Krishna consciousness. In the beginning, they were a little envious that Krishna has taken Radharani alone, leaving aside all other gopis. But as soon as they knew that Krishna had also left Radharani and that she was alone lamenting for him, they become more sympathetic to her. This is how we should also feel for other devotees. The gopis found Radharani and heard everything from her about how she misbehaved with Krishna and how she was proud and was insulted for her pride. After hearing all this, they become actually very sympathetic. Then all the gopis, including Radharani, began to proceed further into the forest until they could no longer see the moonlight. How dense that forest must be, huh? When they saw that it was getting gradually darker, they stopped. Their mind and intelligence became absorbed in the thought of Krishna. They all imitated the activities of Krishna and his speeches. Due to their heart and soul being completely given to Krishna, they began to chant his glories, completely forgetting their family interest. In this way, all the gopis assembled together on the bank of Yamuna and expecting that Krishna must return to them, they simply engaged in the chanting of the glories of Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this Mahamantra includes all the glorification for Krishna. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 30th chapter of Krishna, titled Krishna's Hiding from the Gopis. So we will begin now chapter 31st, Songs by the Gopis. One gopi said, quote, "My dear Krishna, ever since you took your birth in this land of Brajbhumi, everything appeared to be glorious. The land of Vrindavan has become glorious, and it is as if the goddess of fortune is personally always existing here. But it is only we who are very unhappy because we are searching for you but cannot see you with our greatest effort. Our life is completely dependent upon you. Therefore, we request that you again come to us." Unquote. Another gopi said, quote, "My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul even of the lotus flower that grows on the water of lakes, made transparent by the clear rains of autumn. Although the lotus flowers are so beautiful, without your glance, they fade away. Similarly, without you, we are also dying. Actually, we are neither your wives nor slaves. You never spent any money for us, yet we are simply attracted by your glance. Now, if we die without receiving your glance, you will be responsible for our deaths. Certainly, the killing of women is a great sin. And if you do not come to see us and we die, you will suffer the reaction of this sin. So please come to see us. Do not think that one can be killed only by certain weapons. We are being killed by your absence. You should consider how you are responsible for killing women. We are always grateful to you because you have protected us so many times from the poisonous water of Yamuna, from the serpent Kalya, from Bakasur, from the anger of Indra and his torrents of rain, from forest fire and so many other incidents. They are the greatest and most powerful of all. It is wonderful for you to protect us from so many dangers. But we are surprised that you are neglecting us at this moment. Dear Krishna, dear friend, we know very well that you are not actually the son of Mother Yasoda or the cowherdsman Nanda Maharaj. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the super soul of all living entities. You have, out of your own causeless mercy, appeared in this world requested by Lord Brahma for the protection of the world. It is by your kindness only that you have appeared in the dynasty of Yadu, who best in the dynasty of Yadu. If anyone afraid of this materialistic way of life takes shelter at your lotus feet, you never deny him protection. Your movements are sweet and you are independent, touching the goddess of fortune with one hand and in the other bearing a lotus flower. This we see so many times repetition. Huh? That is your extraordinary future. Please, therefore, come before us and bless us with the lotus flower in your hand. Dear Krishna, you are the killer of all the fears of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. You are the supremely powerful hero, and we know that you can kill the unnecessarily pride of your devotees, as well as the pride of women like us, simply by your beautiful smile. We are simply your maidservants and slaves. Please, therefore, Accept us by showing us your lotus-like beautiful face. Another gopi says, Dear Krishna, actually we have become very lusty, having been touched by your lotus feet. Your lotus feet certainly kill all kind of sinful activity of the devotees who have taken shelter there. You are so kind that even the ordinary animals take shelter under your lotus feet. Your lotus feet are also the residence of the goddess of fortune. Yet you dance on the head of a Kalya serpent with them. Now we are requesting you to kindly place your lotus feet on our breast and pacify our lusty desire to touch you. Other one says, O Lord, your attractive eyes, like the lotus, are so nice and pleasing. Your sweet words are so fascinating that they please even the greatest scholars, who also become attracted to you. We are also attracted by your speaking and by the beauty of your face and eyes. Please, therefore, satisfy us by your nectarian kisses. Dear Lord, words spoken by you or words describing your activities are full of nectar. And simply by speaking or hearing your words, one can be saved from the blazing fire of material existence. Great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are always engaged in chanting the glories of your words. They do so to eradicate the sinful activity of all living entities in the material world. If, listen attentively, if one simply tries to hear your transcendental words, he can very quickly be elevated to the platform of pious activities. For the Vaishnavas, your words give transcendental pleasure, and saintly persons who are engaged in distributing your transcendental message all over the world are first class charitable persons. Unquote. In parentheses, this is confirmed by Rupa Goswami also when he addressed Lord Chaitanya as the most munificent incarnation, because Lord Chaitanya distributed the words of Krishna and love of Krishna free of charge all over the world. Parenthesis over. Another gopi says, Dear Krishna, the gopis continued, you are very cunning. You can imagine how much we are distressed simply by remembering your cunning smile, your pleasing glance, your walking with us in the forest of Vrindavan, and your auspicious meditations. Your talks with us in lonely places were heartwarming. Now we are all aggrieved to remember your behavior. Please save us, dear Krishna. Certainly you know how much we are saddened when you go out of Vrindavan village to tend the cows in the forest. How we are afflicted simply to think that your soft lotus feet are being pricked by the dry grass and the tiny thorns in the forest. We are so attached to you that we always think simply of your lotus feet. What a great position, gopis. So wonderful. Another gopi says, Oh Krishna, when you return from the pasturing ground with the animals, we see your face covered by your curly hair and dusted by the hood dust of the cows. We see your mildly smiling face, and our desire to enjoy you increases. Oh dear Krishna, you are the supreme lover and you always give shelter to surrender souls. Maybe this word may engrave in our heart that you always give shelter to surrender souls. You fulfill everyone's desire. How can he do, such a wonderful thing? But we see that, yes, he fulfill. If somebody doesn't want to believe in Krishna, he give them something that they will feel happy without Krishna. They will never feel absence of Krishna. They get lost in this material pool very easily. You fulfill everyone's desire. Your lotus feet are even worshipped by Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. To whomever worship your lotus feet, you, without a doubt, always bestow your benedictions. This is guaranteed. So kindly be pleased with us and keep your lotus feet on our breast, and thus relieve our present distress. Dear Krishna, we are seeking your kisses, which you offer even to your flute. The vibration of your flute enchants the whole world, and our hearts also. Kindly, therefore, return and kiss us with your mouth of nectar. So I think, okay, one more paragraph we can read. When Lord Krishna finally reappeared and assembled with the gopis, he looked very beautiful, just befitting a person with all kind of opulences. In Brahma Samhita it is stated, Ananda Chinmaya Ras Pradibhavitabihi. Krishna alone is not particularly beautiful, but when his energy, especially his pleasure energy, represented by Radharani, expands, he looks very magnificent. The Mayavad conception of the perfection of the absolute truth without potency is due to insufficient knowledge. Actually, outside the exhibition of his different potencies, the absolute truth is not complete. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa means that his body is a transcendental form of eternal bliss and knowledge. Krishna is always surrounded by different potencies, and therefore he is perfect and beautiful. We understand from Brahma Samhita and Skanda Purana that Krishna is always surrounded by many thousands of goddesses of fortune. The gopis are all goddesses of fortune, and Krishna took them hand in hand on the bank of Yamuna. So we will stop here. So the devotees who has to go and perform other duties, they can go by remembering those wonderful pastimes, reading more and more. Our brain will train to remember those wonderful pastimes slowly and slowly as we hear repeated those pastimes, in brief. This is the way to remember Krishna. So always be happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life can also become jubilant, happy, and totally fearless. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful devotees who always join and give their kind support from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Tampa, Phoenix, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, San Diego, Calcutta, New Delhi, Toronto, Alaska. From Badrinath, the Seti. He doesn't join, but he always texts me, when we post our meditations, that it was so nice. Haribo. Maine, New Orleans, Ottawa, and also Vasudha Mataji, right? That she cannot join because she is visiting her village where there is ISKCON temple near Dehradun, where uh, what's the Maharaj's name? Hmm. I met